Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today we are doing it's kind of two videos in one because it could be either titles, so I'm gonna make it both. So it's finishing slash trying to finish the series I'm in the middle of, and also reading anticipated new releases, and they all happen to be green. So that's the vlog. So yes, I swear someone just knocked on my front door. So yes, there's a few books lately that's come out that are A, new obviously, but B, they're continuing or finishing a series that I'm in the middle of, and they literally just happen to be green. So to kick off, we are starting with Wildside by Elsie Silver, which is the third book in the Rose Hill series. I haven't got on with this series as well as the other series. Well, really, okay. Chestnut Springs is God tier series for me. Okay, every book in that series is 5-star. And then I read the Off to the Races, is that what? No, Gold Rush Ranch series. And 2 of those books were 5 stars, and the other 2 I did still really enjoy. So we have a 50-50 with that one. There is yet to be a 5-star in this series, so I'm a little bit worried about this one. Also, he is a pro wrestler. I don't know what. I don't know. So I'm going into this book with no expectations. Not low, not high, just no expectation. I'm not expecting to like it. I'm not expecting to not like it. I'm just going to kind of go in for the vibes. So with that being said, let's get started and let's read Wildside. Okay, I thought I would film an update because I've started reading this book and sort of haven't told you anything about it. I've started reading Wildside, and when I say reading, I mean I've listened to the first 9 chapters earlier today while I was doing some cleaning, and now I'm actually going to sit down and read it, but I thought I'd give you my first impressions. I feel like my first impressions of a book when I've listened to it are very different than when I've read it. I don't know why. I do think I just take in what I like and don't like better through reading. So far, I'm enjoying it. I just don't understand what's going on. We've got Rhys and we've got Tabitha, both of whom we've seen in other books. Rhys, we know he's a pro wrestler. It was like one of the first things we learned about him. I'm just pretending that that's not what he is. It doesn't make sense in his personality to be a pro wrestler, but we're ignoring that, okay? Obviously Tabitha's sister's died, and now she's thinking, well, I'm going to be looking after my nephew, but for some reason this girl has written a will and made her landlord, who is Rhys, Milo's guardian. Is it Milo? It is Milo. Oh my god, I can't believe I got that right. So yeah, I don't understand why she's given Rhys, clearly they've gotten close over her time being his tenant, but it's been 2 years, he's worked in that time, so it's not like he'd constantly be at home, and apparently she's just fed lies about her family life to him, because by the sounds of things, Tabitha and her sister, whose name I don't remember, they saw each other fairly often, but it would always be her sister coming to Tabitha rather than Tabitha visiting her sister at home. So to Rhys, it's like, well, I've never seen her and she's telling me she's estranged from her family. When really, Tabitha's spent a lot of time looking after her sister and her nephew. And it's they're very close. But it sounds like what she's told Rhys is something completely different. So I don't know what's going on. It all seems a bit dodgy. And then Rhys randomly had a personality change and kind of assumed he was trying to fuck her, not fuck her over. I don't know. But that seemed a little bit out of his personality. I don't know. He doesn't seem to have much personality, I'll be honest. So as far as Elsie Silverman goes, I don't know. But I'm going to continue actually reading this, and I will let you know if I have any updated thoughts from where I am right now. Okay, listen, am I wearing the same hoodie as in the last clip? Yes, mind your business. Mind your business. I am about apparently 56% of the way through this book. This book has had me giggling. Listen. I really did enjoy Wild Love. I liked Ford and Rosie a lot. I probably overrated Wild Eyes. I was slightly disappointed by it. I think I rated it higher than I actually, thinking back on it, probably should have. It was probably more like a 3.5. I think I rated it a 4. Because I don't know, it wasn't the same. I don't know what it was. So many people love Wild Side. Well, this is Wild Side. So many people love Wild Eyes. And like it was fun, but it just didn't, there was something lacking in it for me. I don't know what it was. I went into this with such like, not low expectations, because at the end of the day it's an Elsie Silver book. It's always going to be at least a 3 or above. It's always going to be a fun time. But I didn't go into it with the same expectations of like Chestnut Springs. And especially because, okay, listen, the WWE thing, even though it's called WPW, I am ignoring that. Like, I am loving this book in spite of that because it weirdly hits. But like, it doesn't. But I just love how, I think what it is, I love how supportive Tabitha is of his wrestling career. She is fully invested. Like, she kind of finds some parts funny, but she's fully invested and really supportive. I love it. Listen. Okay. Reese, my wife, Dupree. This man has had me giggling. The way he is, as soon as they got married, he's like, my wife, my wife, my wife. My wife this, my wife that. If there is one micro trope that will resurrect me from death, it is the my wife trope. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I've had so many giggly moments. We have had the first kiss, non-wedding related first kiss. Because obviously I pronounce you husband and wife, you may not kiss the bride. That aside. So I'm thoroughly enjoying this and I'm so happy I'm enjoying this because I really was expecting to be disappointed again. And I'm so glad that as we stand halfway through, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And I was right. Reading it is more enjoyable than listening to it. He is very aloof. He's had a hard life, okay? And he's not really got anyone. He's just not really got anyone in his life that he's close to, and he just feels like an outsider. And oh my god, I want him to be loved. I want him to be loved, okay? And I think Tabitha will do a really good job of that. And the way, oh my god, the way he shows up and loves Milo. The way he parents him even, like the gentle parenting, but like the direct parenting. They were in like a supermarket and he was gonna have like a temper tantrum, and we straight away just like shut it down in the most healthy, respectful way. This man has never even like, he doesn't have his own kids. He's never parented before. I'm just thoroughly enjoying it. But anyway, I'm gonna go probably I'm gonna try and binge read the rest of this tonight because I don't see myself being able to put it down. So I will update you when I have more thoughts. I really hope I don't get disappointed by this. But in general, Marriage of Convenience, my wife does it every time for me. So listen, we're 3 books into a 4-book series, but I still think my favourite man is Ford because he is the most reliable. Like, I mean, all of these guys would do anything for each other, but there's just something about Ford in particular and the way he's just really quite stoic with everyone but Rosie. And he's just, you need something, he will do it without question, without thought. He's just like, you need it, it's done, and I will be there while things happen. Like, I just love Ford. I'm also loving Reese as an absolute sweetheart. One thing that will always annoy me in books is when men have the emotional capacity of a 3-year-old. And when they're upset or they feel vulnerable and they lash out at the people they love, like, grow up. Simply grow up. You're 35, Reese. 35. Grow up. Like, they have no excuse. Okay, the way it's like straight away, not fixed itself, but the way that she just didn't stand for it. I do like that. I'm enjoying that. At least it's not like, it's happened so quickly that it has been no point to it, but I suppose Reese has some reassurance. But she's also like, the reason it's over so quickly is because she's literally not letting him be an idiot. She's fully Like, she's just not taking his shit, and I really enjoy it. There's a sneak peek to the last book. I'm not gonna read it. I'm very excited for Wildcard though, I can't lie, because ex-boyfriend's dad. I enjoyed Birthday Girl. At least in this, Gwen is older and not 19. That was so good. I'm so glad that Reese finally found his like family. Not his actual family, we still have no idea. I mean, well, his parents did it. But I'm just so glad that Reese finally got to have a family and be loved. It was so cute. And just like their whole dynamic, I loved it. I'm giving this a 4.5 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I need to look on Goodreads for people's reviews because I can't remember what people who I watched thought about this. Oh, it's got a 4.22 Goodreads rating. It's actually better than I thought it was. Oh, I thought so. Heather rated it 5 stars. And you, well, 4.5. And then Sarah and Destiny rated it a 3. The only way I can get my thoughts out really well is by kind of discussing other people's thoughts. In Sarah's review, she said that she didn't like the miscommunication at the start, that it could have been avoided and the bickering was more fun as side characters. See, I really enjoyed their bickering. I don't know why. Someone's rated it 3.9. That is so random. I don't know anyone who, I don't know, like a 2 5s, like quarters fair enough, but 0.1s? Anyway. I'm going to say I confidently rate this a 4.5 stars. What did I rate Wild Love? It's not going to be on Goodreads, you can't do half stars. I think I rated Wild Love a 4.5 as well. I would say it was pretty on par. They had such like a deep connection and this deep like knowledge of each other. They just, like as they say, to be loved is to be known. Or is it to be known is to be loved? Either way, like they are that. They knew each other so well. They just wanted to know each other. They just, I don't know, they just had a really good connection, they had really good banter, they had really good chemistry, the tension. I really enjoyed it. So 4.5, really enjoyed this book. I'm so glad I didn't disappoint. And Wildcard's gonna be so, I'm so excited for Wildcard, which comes out in September. It's gonna be the last one because it's the last of the 4 guys on the bowling team, which I just think is hilarious. Like, the fact it's going to be 4 books for 4 guys on a bowling team and they just all happen to be single dads. Love that. Even though, not technically single dad, single guardian. Anyway, I'm going to go to bed. And I will get back to you when I pick up the next book in this video, which might not be the book I read directly after this, or it might be, who knows. Okay, second book of the video, we are doing King of Envy by Ana Huang. It looks like I've already started it. I haven't. I just put a bookmark in to mark the first page. Listen, I don't know how I'm going to feel about this one. I'm excited. Okay, she is engaged to his like best friend or oldest friend, but he wants her, and that's his Vuk, who is, we met him in the first book. I can't remember which one the first book is. King of Wrath. He's really quiet. He basically doesn't speak. I think he's Polish? Serbian. He's Serbian. And he basically doesn't speak. But he knows the other guys from the rest of the Kings of Sin series. So he's interesting. She's a model. And that's about all I know. It's like 500 pages. The thing is, I have enjoyed every King of Sin book. But I think I just have it in my head, I think a lot of people are feeling Ana Huang is getting very samey. And I haven't seen anyone like say what they think about this yet. And it came out like a couple months ago. April. It is June. So yeah, it came out 2 months ago. And I haven't actually heard anyone talk about it yet. So I don't know. I still haven't actually read The Striker either. But I do have that and I've owned it for months. Anyway. We're gonna give this a go, fingers crossed, I like it. Okay, I'm just under 100 pages in, I'm on chapter 12, and so far I am enjoying this. I do like the quiet, in this case completely silent, brooding man. I do like that. He's very, in fact I wouldn't even say he's grumpy, he just is silent and brooding. So far I'm enjoying it, and I'm interested to see how it's going to go, because now the marriage has, well, the weddings had to be moved up, and literally Ayana is just like, oh my god, he hates me, I don't know what's going on, he's disgusted by me, he hates me. And meanwhile Vuk is just like, I just want to be near her, I want her to be mine. Like, he is definitely yearning for her, and I am all about it. All about it. I love his point of view. But there's a little bit of a mystery element going on. Someone is clearly after Vuk. Vuk was attacked in King of Sloth at the club. So we've got a bit of a mystery element as well, trying to figure out that, why he was attacked or by who. I'm gonna go up to bed, read a little bit more. I'm probably only gonna manage to get like another 30 pages or so read, because I want an early night, and then we will continue this tomorrow. Okay, excuse the wet hair and the dressing gown. I've been in the shower. I'm just under 200 pages through this. This man has spoken 3 times. Okay, 3 times. And when I say he's spoken 3 times, I mean he said maybe 3 words in total. I think each time he's spoken... Oh no, he's said 5 words. I think in total, roughly. Every time he speaks, I'm like, this sounds so stupid that he is, but I am like swooning over the fact that he is willing to talk to I mean, he hasn't. He's said don't, and he touched you to her. So he said 4 words in total to Ayana. That is it, and I am eating it up, okay? I love a brooding, grumpy, mystery man. I do. And the way this man is yearning for her, and yes, he's a bit dangerous, he's definitely morally grey, he's killed before. I'm genuinely loving him. He said something earlier. Okay, technically I'm lying then, he has said more to her. In English he said 4 words. He did say something though, earlier, which I googled. So, it's come up as Croatian when I did a Google Translate. But he said, when I finally kiss you, you won't wear his ring on your finger anymore. In, apparently, Croatian. I was gagged. I was on my lunch break at work reading that, and I was gagged. Something's happened to her, and she's went straight to his house. Because she's like, he makes me feel safe. Listen, I'm really enjoying this. Okay, I'm eating this up. I've got a guess as to what is going to happen. I'm just over halfway, we're at the wedding. I've got a guess. I want to film my reaction in case I'm correct. I'm probably not, but we'll find out. Also, Vuk talking under those circumstances, he uses his words well. And that is all I'm going to say on that. Oh, never mind. There's me thinking it actually is Vuk. It's not. It's simply not. Anyway. I was right. It's one way to get out of it. Oh my god. I should not be laughing. I should not be laughing. I mean, he might... It might be okay. It might be. Based on the wording. Okay, ignore the fact that this looks weird and it's not flattering in the slightest. I was just cold. I'm on the final stretch of the book. I've got about 50 pages left. I'm trying to finish this tonight, but it's like nearly 10:30 and I'm so tired. We've just had a revelation. So earlier on, was it yesterday or the day before? Maybe I just started reading it, so probably the day before. I had a little look on Goodreads because I couldn't remember hearing anyone talk about it. And to be honest, I don't think anyone I know of has read it. But there was some good reviews, there was some whatever reviews. There wasn't really many bad reviews. Am I like really off centre properly? And one of them said it was very Twisted Lies, and I get it because Twisted Lies had like the mystery aspect. The little reveal that we've just had, like, I get it, because in Twisted Lies, the person who was like the stalker, it was like, okay, literally this was nothing. Like, it's not like it was someone we'd really seen before. It was just like, it was whatever. Like, no one really cared about that reveal. It was a bit boring. And like, this reveal feels very similar. We've met the person, but it just doesn't make sense. So we've had two reveals about two characters that we have met in the book, one more prevalent than the other, and both things just don't make sense. But this one specifically really doesn't make sense. So I'm like, it's not ruined the book, but I'm like, oh, come on. So I'm going to try and get this last bit read before I fall asleep. I'm really looking forward to the next one as well. Sebastian and Maya, King of Gluttony. We got a few little like snippets of them in this book and it was good. Anyway, yes, the ending, not the best, but it was fine. So I think I'm going to say a 4 stars. It would have been a 4.5 if it wasn't for the ending. I still enjoyed it and I'm not that disappointed by the ending, hence why it's only bringing it down half a star. But it was a little bit cliche. But the rest of the book I really enjoyed. I loved their relationship. I loved their dynamic. It was really fun. I like how this one was a bit darker. This was like the darkest of all of them and he was definitely the most morally grey. But I really enjoyed that. It felt like a dark romance where the romance wasn't what was dark, but what was happening was dark, but not super dark. Not like Haunting Adeline dark, just like a darker romance. But again, the romance was wholesome. The romance was good, it was regular. It's just the situation around everything is what was dark, and the MMC being morally grey. I currently don't feel like I have many thoughts, I'll be completely honest with you. The smut was good. Vuk as a MMC I really liked, like I say, very morally grey, and didn't speak a lot, but when he did, he made those words count. And that's all I say on that. I like the FMC as well. It does feel a little bit like Stella and Christian. I think this was a good one. The next one sounds like it's gonna be really good. Like I say, Sebastian and Maya, who we saw in this book. It's definitely gonna be like a rival to lovers. I think they were academic rivals in their past. So that's exciting. And then there'll be one book after that and then that's it. The series is done. It wasn't as spicy as I thought it was going to be. There wasn't many spice scenes. So I'm going to give it like a 2.5, but the spice that was in it was good. Yeah, okay. We have one more book to read in this video, which will be My Dark Prince, which I think is a dark romance. My Dark Romeo counted as a dark romance. My Dark Desire didn't feel quite as dark, but I guess it was. So yeah, I'm probably gonna read something else because I can't finish that book before the weekend, and I'm gonna be doing a 24-hour readathon this weekend. I was meant to last weekend and didn't, so it'll probably be next week when I come back to you and we'll start reading My Dark Prince. But I am excited for it, but I'm also a little bit nervous because if the couple is who I think it is, it's a little bit dodgy. I don't know. We'll find out. Anyway, I'm going to bed. I'm so tired. It's 11:30. I need to be up in 6.5 hours. Okay, we didn't start My Dark Prince. It's the next day. And while I was kind of like on my way to work, on my breaks, on my way home, I started reading Lost and Lassoed. and I've actually managed to get about literally 70 pages in. I'm on chapter 10 because this is a very quick, easy read. I was really looking forward to this book from book 1 because I knew they were going to get together because they hated each other, which makes no sense unless it's in a romance, realistically. Okay, here's the thing. 70 pages in, and I don't understand how this will ever romance. Only because he genuinely seems disgusted every single time she touches him. He seems genuinely disgusted. I'm like, that's not... They've clearly had a moment. There's been a mention of like they've agreed on one thing ever. I'm guessing they kissed or something years ago and they've agreed to never talk about it. So, I don't know. I mean, this series so far has been fun. It's been entertaining, but it's only ever been okay as a rating. Let me have a look actually what I rated the other two. Okay, I rated the first one. I think I rated the first one a 3.5. And obviously on Goodreads it's only 3. Yeah, both only got between 3 and 3.5, I think. I can't fully remember. They're rated as 3 on Goodreads, but they could be 3.25, they could be 3.5, they could be 3.75. But none of them are like above a 4. And I think that makes sense for the series. I don't know what it is. These books are really short, so I just feel personally with a romance, yes, a romance doesn't necessarily need to be more than 300 pages, but at the same time, for a romance to really hit and be a good romance, it needs a bit more depth, and these just don't have the space quite for that depth. I am really looking forward to Wild and Wrangled because of Swift and Saddled. We met the 4th couple, and I'm really looking forward to that. This one I think might let me down a little bit based off the first 70 pages because, like I say, it doesn't feel like there's a romance anywhere in there. It doesn't feel like they see each other even slightly romantically and that they're just denying themselves. It literally seems like they hate each other. And specifically, it seems like Gus is disgusted by Teddy, and he genuinely has this awful view of her. He's basically like, yeah, she's beautiful, but she's not a trustworthy or nice person, and he's disgusted when she touches him. So I'm not seeing it so far. I don't know how in the next, because this is exactly 300 pages, I don't know how in the next 230 pages that's going to turn around to be a believable love story. This is technically not a new release. However, if we see the video, this video could be reading new releases, or it could be finishing series I'm in the middle of. It's just the whole point is all of these books are green. Pretty much. So I thought I would sneak this one in there because it's a quick 300 page book, and I thought, why not? It's not quite as new, but it came out semi-recently, November. It's new enough. It's not the newest of the series, but it's within the year, so. Anyway, I'm on chapter 23, just over, it's like, I think we're basically halfway, just over, because we're on page 155. We've just found out, we've had a 7-year, what's the word, a 7 years ago chapter. So we found out a little bit of backstory to probably why Teddy hates Gus. I think they didn't like each other anyway, but this was clearly the nail in the coffin. And literally before this we had such a cute, we've had a couple of cute moments between the two of them where they've seemed to have bonded, and I've really enjoyed that. Right, okay, I think he has a daddy kink. I hate that. I really hate that. As a joke, it's funny, I don't mind that. But if he actually has a daddy kink, I'm throwing this book out the window. But that is yet to be properly found out because we haven't had anything spicy happen yet. However, what did happen 7 years ago was boring, tame and short. So it wasn't as juicy as I hoped it would be, to be honest. But I'm still enjoying the book. I just don't think it's anything special or different. But it's fun, and currently I'm enjoying the fact that they seem to have bonded a bit, and he seems to have warmed to her quite a lot. They've just had a really cute moment bonding over Riley and how much they both love her and how much they both see different people in her. And that was really nice. I really like they both absolutely love this child. And that seems to be really bridging the gap between the two of them. But I'm underwhelmed at the same time. It's fun, but I'm underwhelmed. I've just finished, I can't speak, I've just finished Lost and Last Road. Why am I always terrible at framing my camera? It's like 5 to 11, so I'm gonna go straight to bed because I'm so tired. I really had to force myself to stay awake. This was alright. I did enjoy it. I'm probably gonna give it 3 stars because it was fun, but there was moments that I just found a little bit, I don't know. I have written a couple notes. Okay, my first thing, since we last spoke, what has happened? Gus acted very immature at one point after they kissed, and he's maybe like 35 or 36, and how, like, it was, I was gonna say it was quick, it lasted like at least a full day, and Teddy had to go to him and tell him he was being ridiculous. They had one kiss, and he was, I don't know, it was very immature. The first smut scene, okay, listen. I think Lila Sage writes a semi-decent romance, you know? Smut-wise, I don't enjoy her smut all that much. Because I remember there was a scene in Swift and Saddled, the shower scene, it was really awkward and weird and cringe, and I didn't like it. And this one, the first smut scene, there was something about it that was just a bit awkward and cringe. It was like how he was talking to her. The same lines I have read in other books, in other smut scenes. I enjoyed it and thought it was good and thought everything was fine and dandy. And in this, I was just like, no. It just seems like it doesn't fit. Scene, the characters, the relationship, it didn't, I don't know. And I also hate the Teddy Baby nickname. I don't enjoy that. There was no like third act conflict, which I do really enjoy. It was just a very like natural progression of them getting together, which was nice. It just felt like a really calm, I mean, yeah, they started off hating each other, but from them being friends to being lovers, it was just a nice, calm, smooth transition, and it was nice. Just seeing two people just get together, realise they have feelings for each other, start acting on them, and decide, yeah, I wanna take this further. But the like epilogue, I feel like things go very quickly. They've like their relationship has moved very fast in the timeline that we've seen. And the last page, obviously the next book is Cam and Dusty's book. So obviously she wasn't going to be getting married, but I genuinely thought she was going to, I don't know. I'm just a bit surprised. I'm going to give it like a 2 chili pepper rating. There's only like 2 spice scenes, to be honest. So it wasn't as spicy. I think a lot of people thought Done and Dusty was very spicy. I just don't think it was. But it's a very short book. It's hard to have a short book. I was going to say it's hard to have a short book be very spicy, but I'm fairly sure there's a few authors that are very good at that. So this wasn't, I wouldn't say this is a very spicy book. There's like 2 spice scenes and that's it, pretty much. Okay, so we're on to the final book of the video, and that is My Dark Prince by Parker S. Huntington and L.J. Shen. This one is the last book in this series, and I did think it was Oliver and, is it Frances or Frankie, or I can't remember what her name was, the sister of, oh, what's her name? It's like a place name, begins with D. Dallas? I thought it was her sister from book 1. It's not. It's only, the only reason I thought that is because the whole book 1 and 2, Oliver was making inappropriate comments about her underage sister. No, this one, you don't get a lot based on the back of the book. It literally tells you nothing. But I've downloaded it on my Kindle app on my phone because I'm going to read it. I've got a doctor's appointment before I go to work this morning. So while I'm waiting in there, you never know. I mean, it's just with the nurse, they're usually pretty quick. And on my way home and on my lunch break, I can read. So this one says it's a enemies to lovers sleeping beauty retelling in which a damaged billionaire, Oliver, with a dark past and his childhood sweetheart fall in love, literally. I mean literally. Are they gonna fall? So, because I'd seen, so when I like kind of flicked through, I was like, what do you mean she's asleep? I was confused. So yes, that makes me feel a lot better that this is an of-age woman and it's not the person he was making. I mean, yes, he was joking, but it was very inappropriate and very just wrong. So thank God it's not him. So I feel a lot better about reading this. So I'm gonna get started on this morning. And I will come to you later when I finish work. And we will discuss sort of where I'm at, what I think. Okay, so I didn't read at the doctor's because I pretty much went straight in and then I had to go straight to work. So I got to chapter 3 on my Kindle on the way home. Well, on the Kindle app. So I read 18 pages on the way home. Here's the thing. I am already cringed out reading this just off the prologue. Okay, her name's Briar Rose, and that is the context I'm gonna. Her name is Briar Rose, right? And the whole point of this is that they're like childhood best friends, and she was like in love with him, right? So obviously something's happened at some point in them being younger, where they're no longer in contact and she now hates him. However, again, this is the prologue. First page, it's not even a full page long. The very end of it says, thanks to him, I'm no longer a rose, I'm a thorn. Fair enough, a bit cringe, but whatever. However, if you put it in the context of what comes before that, they say the best revenge is to not be like your enemy. I grew up to be kind, reliable and responsible, all the things he lacked. Hun, if you are kind, reliable and responsible, you're a fucking rose, love. You're not a thorn. That's what made it so cringe. She's like, I grew up to be everything he's not. Kind, reliable, responsible. I'm not a rose anymore, I'm a thorn. I'm sorry, since when was a thorny attitude? Since when are thorns kind, reliable and responsible? They are responsible for my pain when I accidentally stab myself on them. They are reliably always on a rose. Not kind. Anyway, I am gonna start reading some more of this. It's like 20 past 8 and I'm gonna go to bed about 10ish. So I'm gonna get like an hour-ish read. Okay, it turns out that in this, Frankie is 20. However, he is not going after her, has never gone after her, and does not plan on it. But they seem to be kind of friends and they're quite funny together. So that makes me feel so much better. Knowing that he was just being perverted just to throw people off. Okay, so last night I ended up getting up to chapter 19, page 102. And then I didn't get much read. I didn't read it all on my breaks at work, so I only read on the way to and from work. But on the way back from work, I started feeling a little bit car sick, slightly. So I got to chapter 25. So that's not too bad. I read 5 chapters. Oh, that's not too bad at all. I read just under 40 pages. I had a couple notes. So Oliver not knowing how to act around Briar while she thinks they're engaged. Meanwhile, she actually hates him. And he's like blushing, just like silently praying for strength. Just, he's so affected by her. And you're learning that he's put up quite a facade in the last 2 books. And it seems that while he's not celibate in any way, he's not enjoying anything. So there's that. Also, the mention of back when they were teenagers, he was like, oh yeah, you have to like dye roses blue for them to be blue. And that they hadn't figured out a way to breed blue roses yet. And him paying for some scientists to figure out how to breed blue roses and having a garden full of them. As his, like, this is when they weren't even talking. I love that. Honestly, this book, I'm finding it so funny. I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I wonder if I can find any examples. It's even, right, okay. One of them, like, This isn't fully what I mean, but I did think it was funny. He says, the truth is you suffer from low vitamin D, he sighed, grabbing a chunk of bread from the table and popping it into his mouth. I know, my future wife, not enough D. The irony is grotesque, but God has a way of making the cruelest jokes. Like, he's just so, like, dry and funny. So, like, she's not meant to go in one section of the house. So he's like, I'm a hoarder. So he says he hoards. He says, it's madness over there. I'm talking mountains of reusable bags, empty Costco cardboards, newspapers from the 60s, my used toilet paper collection. You have a used toilet paper collection? What can I say? The heart wants what it wants. And in my case, apparently it wanted bacteria. Even like she realised what university she went to. She's like, oh my God, I went to Baylor. My condolences. He's just like, I don't know, he's just, I find him so funny. That's my thoughts so far. I'm finding it funny. The cringe is gone. It's not bad now. It was just when she was younger, she was a bit cringe. But I get it, like she's on her own, she's lonely, she's a teenager. At least the now timeline is just funny. Even though it's a bit dodgy because like she hates him, she's forgotten that she hates him, she's having to live with him. And he's just like, I have no idea what to do, I'm an awful human being. And he's lying to her, but because he's been told under no circumstances tell her anything upsetting, so he's kind of having to go along with what she's saying until she remembers, because that's what he's been told by the doctor, which is terrible medical advice, I'm sorry. So it's all a bit dodgy, and she's going to find out he's been lying, but he was told to lie. Like, what's he meant to do? I'm about halfway through, and I'm starting to really, I was really enjoying this book, I'm starting to really hate it, okay? First of all, Seb is literally the worst character ever. I hate him. He's a horrible person. He went through something awful, do not get me wrong. Was it his fault as well as Oliver's? Yes. At the end of the day, Seb started it. I'm not going to go into what it was, but Seb started it. So he is still partially at fault for what happened to him. He should not be fully blaming Oliver. And then I just had a feeling of how it was going to go. And why Oliver did what he did following that event that led to, you know, him and Brian no longer speaking. And I was right. And I also hate that. It makes Seb even worse. So, also Dallas is as annoying as ever. Dallas is really annoying. Like, ridiculously so. But then on top of that, currently where we are at like a dinner. The way Dallas is acting is always annoying, but now Brian is acting really weird, and we know why. But it's completely out of pocket. It's like, it just makes no sense, and I don't know how Oliver's not like caught on to what she's doing. Because it's completely out of character, and she's really annoying and really mean, and I do not like her. So currently, don't like Seb, don't like Brian, but also not really liking Dallas or Romeo or Zach currently, because I feel like they're constantly making fun of Oliver, and now that we've got Oliver's point of view, I just feel so bad for him because he's not able to be himself with anyone. He's had to put up his front and kind of separate himself. He's had to make himself miserable, and I feel really bad for him. And currently what I don't understand, when we have the glimpses of him when he was like 15, 16, 19, whatever, the type of personality he has, he seemed like such a nice guy, and he was really bright and really switched on and really like invested in his future. And he's been friends with Zach and Romeo for decades. I don't understand how they haven't been like, oh, that's weird, he just had a complete personality shift, a complete 180, is a different person now, and they just didn't question it. So currently I don't like anyone aside from Oliver. So I'm not really enjoying it very much now. But now I'm not tired, so I'm gonna get through this awful scene and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. Okay, ignore the fact I'm yet again wearing the same hoodie, okay? It's cozy and I only wear it for a few hours after work, okay? I have like not much left, like 140-ish pages. They're on a date. The first part of the date, yeah, I suppose it was quite sweet. I didn't mind it. This second part is really weird. I'm gonna be honest, the fake photos, taking that out of context, already weird, but in the context, the fake photos are a little bit psychotic and cruel. And she's like crying over them, but not in a bad way crying. I don't know. Like, I get the sentiment behind this. It just seems a little weird. She might be about to find out what happened. Sorry. Oliver's saying, just remember you're the most precious woman in my life. And she's saying, why are you reminding me of this? And he says, because I'm about to treat you like a dirty whore. I swear, this man is so funny. Earlier on, it's just the things he says are so out of pocket. And like, I don't even know how to explain it. Where was it? He said, I had no choice. She wore me out, Hayley. She was relentless in her pursuit, day in, day out. I couldn't even take a piss without her showing up in my bathroom, opening her mouth to be my own personal toilet. And he just said that to embarrass her. Like, they keep saying things in front of random strangers to embarrass each other and one-upping each other, but he wins every time because he is the most unhinged, crude, I don't even, like, but it's so funny. Okay, ignore the fact I look greasy because I've got oil in my hair. Anyway, I've just finished My Dark Prince. It took me 4 days to read this. I would have finished it yesterday, but I ended up on the phone to my mum for about an hour. And it flew by. Like, I didn't realise it was an hour until it was an hour. Anyway, I think I'm going to rate this a 3.75 because it was really funny. I was really entertained. However, I don't like Seb. I feel heartbroken for what happened to him and how he feels, but I think he's brought a lot of his misery on himself. He's very jealous. He's very selfish. And he's very... I was going to say surface level. He's not surface level, but he's very vain. He is very surface level in that clearly all he thinks that matters is his looks. Even though he was like a ridiculously smart guy and amazing, like, was he a competitive rower? Was he going to the Olympics or something? Like, he had so much going for him as well as his looks, but to him, he's like, I've lost my looks, I've lost everything, life isn't worth living, I'm gonna stew in my misery and make my brother stew in my misery with me. So I don't like him because I just think he was a very flawed character, which is fine. But anyway, I like Oliver, really like Oliver. I quite like Briar. There was a bit in the middle there where Briar was just really annoying, just had a complete personality shift. And she was just a bitch and like really, I don't know, weird and crazy and I don't know. Dallas is still ridiculously annoying, okay? She's so annoying. But we'll ignore that. But yeah, it was really fun. It's just there was a few things that I didn't love between the characters. But also I'm very confused about the dad situation. I'm going to say this is briefly and as non-spoilery as possible. But we have a dad situation going on. And at the beginning we learn one thing, which kind of sets everything in motion. And then at the end, maybe it's worded like that's not the thing. I don't know if there was multiple typos accidentally. But we thought something was going on with the dad, and then it turns out that's not the case, but it is because he's decided it is. That is the worst way I can describe it without spoiling anything. But if anyone's read this book, can someone in the comments just help me out here? Because I'm so confused about the dad situation. Anyway, yeah, 3.75. It was fairly spicy. I'll give it a 3 chili pepper spice. It wasn't super spicy, all things considered. I think the best part of this book was definitely, it was very humorous, and Oliver is a very, 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 very funny MMC. And Briar really matched him on that level. They just had this sense of humour together that just really worked. But specifically, Oliver, he was just so quick with these remarks and they were always spot on. So I have to say, I really loved that. Anyway, that is the end of this video. I'm going to film a little wrap up of all the books I read when I don't look like this. So yeah, let's just go to that part of the video. I've just remembered, I'm very confused about the ending, and he was very insistent that he had to grovel. There was no reason to grovel. There was no third act conflict or third act breakup. There was no reason to grovel. They just reunited after a little bit of time, like literally apart on two opposite ends of the country. In fact, she was in the Caribbean. I don't know why he was like, I need to grovel, like let me grovel or whatever. Like, he didn't need to grovel, they just reunited. That annoyed me. Also, on Goodreads, there's a lot of people who were really wishing it was Ollie and Frankie. And I get it, like, in the second book, I'm sure there was like a moment where it was like, did they kiss? And if Oliver really was like the playboy kind of guy, he would have worked with Frankie. But I didn't want it because the age gap was really dodgy and because he made inappropriate comments to her when she was underage, even though he was just saying that as a front, and he wasn't genuinely meaning that. I still don't like that. But I think they very clearly, they were going to go down the Ollie and Frankie route originally, and they've clearly made this up instead, and I prefer this, I think. But I think if they kept Ollie being the act, like genuinely a playboy slut, it would have been interesting for him to be with Frankie. It is, weird enough, we started this video on the 1st of the month. It is currently the 21st. Technically I finished it on the 20th because I've read other things in between. It is a heat wave currently for 2 days only, yesterday and today. Yesterday at least it was sunny, today it is cloudy as of now for the rest of the day, which is really depressing. And I'm so hot, it's not even funny. There is not a part of me that's not sweating. Anyway, let's talk about the books I read in this video. So we started off with Wild Side by Elsie Silver. This one I rated 4.5 stars. This was a really strong start to the video and to the month because I really enjoyed this book when I didn't think I would. I was kind of expecting not to like it. So thankfully, I did really enjoy it. Obviously, you will have seen my thoughts during the first part of the video, so I'm not going to say much, but I did really like Reese, I have to say, and their little family. It was just really cute and I loved it. So yes, we have Wild Side, well, it's called the Rose Hill series. This is now up to date. There's one more book left to come out, and I think that comes out in September, and then that series is done. So good progress. Okay, then we read King of Envy by Anna Huang. I have tabbed a couple scenes in this because, listen, Vuk, he was a man of few words, but the words he did decide to use, he used well with impact. So, yes. This one I rated 4 stars. Again, really enjoyed this book. A lot of people don't love this series. I've enjoyed every single book. I still think King of Pride is my favourite. There's something about Kai that really does something to me. He's very different from the Anna Huang men in that he's very, don't get me wrong, he'll throw a punch, as we saw. But it's the way he's just very suave and sophisticated and just like a gentleman. I don't know. Anyway, this, for the Twisted Lies lovers, this book is for you, 100%. That also means we are up to date with the Kings of Sin series. I don't know when the next one comes out because she's got the next one after The Striker coming out called The Defender. So it'll be sometime after that, I imagine. I think we know which one it is. Actually, is it Gluttony? Yes, King of Gluttony, and it's Sebastian and Maya, who we did see in this, and that's going to be interesting because they hate each other, so. Then we read Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage. This one I rated 3 stars. This one was following Teddy and Gus, who we did know hated each other. I think it had a strong finish, slightly rushed, but I enjoyed it. It was fun. I love the found family. I love Amos Ryder. I didn't read this in this video, but I did finish the Rebel Blue Ranch series because I read this one straight away in my 24-hour reading challenge. So this series is finished. We didn't finish it in this video, but it's finished. So, and finally we have My Dark Prince, which is, as far as I'm aware, the last book in the Dark Prince Road trilogy or series, whatever. This one I rated a 3.75. So this one is finished as far as I'm aware. And I did enjoy this book. I loved them in the, like when they were teenagers, their relationship was so cute. I really didn't think I would like Oliver, but I think because it's been so long since I read the first two, I'd kind of forgotten how much of a like, kind of gross person he was. But it was a fun. I really liked Oliver, but occasionally I didn't like the other characters and how they treat him. And again, it was a bit rushed in some places at the end. For being 500 pages, the end was a bit rushed. I am absolutely overwhelmingly hot. I'm sweating so much. It's not even funny. It's 28 degrees. My house is not built for this. The UK is not built for this. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so overall I do recommend the series. I think My Dark Romeo I rated 3 stars. The second one, My Dark Desire, I rated a 4.5. I really did enjoy their story. And this one, I mean, a 3.75 is a good rating. I did really enjoy it and it was so funny. The banter, the wit, it was just so good. So yeah. So we are up to date with 2 series and we have 2 series finished. All thanks to this video, which is kind of a reading, finishing series I'm in the middle of, kind of a reading new releases. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!